longer.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going, everybody?
We'll wait.
Welcome.
Well, wait. You
We'll
tell
wait.
us.
I would like to know.
How is your Friday,
Actually,
chat?
sorry, I was supposed to say greetings, programs.
Yeah.
Welcome to
I got a page that we were going to be having TRON on today, so I.
Still rocking the pager.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yep.
Back up.
Yeah, we're us users here are really prepared for debating some TRON today. So
It's gonna be a whole hour of themed language.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit! Should have gotten that Mountain Dew.
Dang it!
Dang it! Dang it!
But either way, this is ExacerDebaters, where we present a topic for the episode, and then we present questions where we choose champions and debate why our champion is the best for that question. You all in the chat get to decide who is the master debater. I blanked.
You were with all the words and stuff. You were like,
No,
I got all the words. I got all the words to describe all the stuff.
He had his pager. He was vibing, and then
And then
you
it just all
just.
stopped.
I ran out of energy. It was just like,
And it just stopped.
and then it was just
Basically,
like.
So basically, we do that twice, right? We have two questions for you guys. You guys pick the master debater, and then we do a tiebreaker, questions that we have not prepared for, and it's all about you guys. You guys get to decide it, right?
Between the two of you, you are almost accurate. The master debater is the. Oh god, I just choked on my own. The master debater is the ultimate
Nobody
winner
can do
of
this right.
all questions. So you pick the winner for each round, and the person who won all the rounds, even after a tiebreaker, that's the person who becomes the master debater.
There
The
we
master debater.
Beware of spit, children. It'll come right out.
All right, and so we'll be putting up a straw poll link in the chat, and we'll be seeing. We'll do each of us gets 1 minute to present our argument. Then we have 5 minutes of open discussion to debate, and then you all get to vote on it for about a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all we gotta really talk about. So we'll just get right into the first question.
The first question.
So we've got who would best replace TRON to protect the grid. So Corey has Captain America, Cucumber has Sentry,
Yep.
I have Neo, and Connie has Tracer. So, yeah. Put a minute on
Who's
the clock.
starting first?
And I was the champion last week, so I'll just go ahead and go first.
You didn't give yourself a trophy.
Yeah.
Oh!
He broke the
Girl.
cycle.
Oh, he
Hold on.
didn't give himself a trophy. How can we go on?
There's
All right,
mass
cancel the show.
anarchy.
We're leaving.
We'll just watch Legacy together, right? We'll just all.
Yeah, we'll just do a watch along. Everybody get in on the Discord. We're gonna start watching Trump.
Don't lie to them. We have another show tonight.
Oh
We
shit!
do have another show tonight.
Oh dear. Well. Oh well. I was gathering images and things, and I forgot my trophy.
Images and things.
So well. I was also and you tune in later tonight for Trash Your Piece Theater. You'll also see why I forgot to do a trophy, because I had to do a whole new 9-person overlay for tonight.
Wow.
Oh,
It'll be really, really pretty.
Why? There's
I'm
so
excited.
many.
So many. So many.
I'm so ready.
Yeah, so another reason why to tune in to Twitch tonight at 7:30.
Other than doing the partner push, we need your eyeballs and butts and seats.
Butts
Yeah.
and seats.
Yeah, tonight's gonna be bonkers, so make sure you show up. It's gonna be good.
All right.
Kiri. That's America's ass right there.
Reed, are you talking about this Bob? Are you
Bob?
talking about a different Bob?
Bob, Bob?
Do we have enough Lux soap for 9 people? Well, I sure hope so. We need to pass it around.
Oh yeah.
Gotta share it.
No.
Hey,
Short answer, no. We do
hey,
not
Connie?
have enough.
Here you go.
Oh,
Right there.
fuck's sake.
There.
Wrong show, wrong show!
Oh,
Oh!
No, wrong side, wrong side!
Black
gonna do the bit.
Oh no.
We're getting all the bloopers out of the way now. There we go.
Perfect.
Oh no.
All right, so let's see. I'll start the clock. I chose. Oh, I got rid of the clock.
No time for you. Ryan's done arguing.
No time.
He's gotten all of his arguments out of the way.
The timer ended. Gone. Done.
Done.
And we're done.
Okay. Perfect. So I choose Neo because he already is a very dedicated fighter. He has a very strong technological background. He's a hacker before he even became the Chosen One. He has a sixth sense when it comes to dealing with technology. He can feel it in his bones. He can basically naturally read code with just a glance, and so he'd be able to see the system down to its core elements and be able to address any lines of code that have become corrupted and can lock them down and go after them before they become a problem. And he's also a very, very skilled fighter, and anything that he needs to learn how to take care of the system, he could download it into his memory banks very quickly and be able to handle new situations as they come up and arise. That's my time.
Okay. Honk.
Honk. And then we'll go to Cucumber.
Okie dokie.
All right, and
Okay, look.
go.
I present to you Robert Reynolds, also known as Bob Reynolds, also known as the Sentry. And yes, he has a very complicated existence, over convoluted to say the least. However, I believe his powers and position make him a very good choice for this. He can travel at a speed exceeding the speed of light, which is faster than all the, the messages and electricity that would be running through those circuit boards there, so he'd be faster than any particular enemy. And something that Tron doesn't have that he does have is he has resistance to mind control, so at no point is going to be turned like he is in a different movie, the sequel, we're talking about it. Yeah, so what happened to Tron would never happen to Sentry. He's got a sort of, watchful eye thing. That's kind of the point of him. And also, imagine a cute little digitized corgi, because that's his sidekick. Watchdog? Watchtower? Fucking Watchdog? Watchdog.
What? Watchdog.
The dog's real name is Normie. I couldn't remember his, superhero name.
Normie.
No.
But yeah, and not to mention he's, makes Superman look like a bitch.
Honk.
Oh.
I'll allow that one.
All right, cool.
I can say, so you're talking about the digital corgi. One of the most upsetting things, because I watched the Tron and the Tron Legacy back to back, is that there aren't bits in Tron Legacy. I'm so grumpy. It was the cutest quick thing
I'm
in
sure
Tron. And
it probably got filmed at some point, but it's probably on the cutting room floor somewhere.
Part 3.
Yeah, the entire thing.
Oh, okay. Just like Half-Life 3. That'll be there somewhere.
Ready?
And go.
All right, so you want Captain America, Steve Rogers, to protect the grid because, right, he fights for the users. That intense, the need to do good, to fight for the little guy, to know that the little guy, what that little guy feels like, to fight for them. Also, the connection between the shield and the identity discs, those skills, right on point, right on fucking point. Also, it's all hand-to-hand combat on the grid. It's not any sort of weapons like that. And Captain America is just amazing at hand-to-hand combat. He's super tough. He would probably be able to withstand a lot of beatings in that. And just so he already has the skill set to fight within the grid, as well as that moral, he knows what's right. He wants to fight for the little guy and just will keep fighting to the very, very, very end. Yep.
Soft honk.
Soft honk. You could just have done a soft honk. Didn't have to narrate. Ryan,
QE at the end.
Muted honk.
wrong. Ryan does a soft honk.
It's like the Telltale games. Ryan will remember this.
Oh no. Corey will remember the soft honk.
All right, honey. You
All right, let me argue Tracer here.
All right, here you go, and go.
All right, so my pick is Tracer from Overwatch because she already has the training capability from going through the Overwatch program, and during her time in Overwatch, she had to deal with the Omnics and all the advanced AI technology that started going awry. So she needed to be able to be tech savvy in order to kind of figure out how to dismantle them while working in the Overwatch. And then as soon as Overwatch was dismembered or dismantled, she became her own vigilante. So she has a strong sense of justice and like honor and duty and doing what is right by, just common people needs. Like she even said once, I think in one of her little comic books, is like, after fighting with the Overwatch, I understand justice, duty, and honor, and I will never stop trying to understand what her enemies are trying to do. So she's always got this open mind, and she'll always be willing to learn and fight for the users. And she has her blink ability, which will help.
All right.
All right. Oh, there we go. All right, so Tracer is squishy as fuck, though. That's her problem.
True.
So it's like she's gonna run out of blips, and then she's gonna get stuck out in the open, and one of Sark's goons is just gonna disc her in the face, and she's done.
But she's got her recall ability because she knows how to manipulate the technology that she has gained from Overwatch in her little kind of like repulsor beam. So she's able to not blink out of that situation, recall out of that situation. Yes, thank you.
The thing about Neo is he's like a liberator, but not really a stay-put protector. I don't.
Yeah,
think
he
would
also
take
is
the
very.
post.
No. He's very reluctant. Especially we see that when they go to Zion and he's like overwhelmed by the people wanting to thank him. He's not actually. He'll do like the big stuff, and then when it comes down to like actually protecting the little guy, it's like too much for him. He's like, I don't know how to handle that. He's very almost unreluctant to do that. It's how I always felt about Neo. He's good to like do those big things that don't involve the people, but once it's like, oh, well now we have to deal with the people, those little things that help, he's not willing to do it, or is very uncomfortable doing it.
I think that's kind of like a humanizing feature of him. He's socially awkward is kind of where I come from that.
Yeah, because I mean, he started out as a hacker, just being alone in his room, like falling asleep at the computer kind of thing.
And then suddenly he's the center of attention, and nobody, would be able to go from 0 to 60 like that. It's
Yeah, which is why you need somebody who's already been trained, like Tracer, through the Overwatch program, and then even took it upon herself to become a vigilante afterwards. She was not done. She's like, no, I know my hero duties. I gotta keep doing what's right by everybody. So she became a vigilante, and she's like, nah, I'm still a hero. I'm gonna do what I need to do to protect everyone.
Something else that Sentry can do, actually a couple other things that Sentry can do, is he can generate hard light constructs, which is kind of perfect for the grid. So not only does he have his crazy power of 1,000,000 exploding suns or whatever, which is like his level of strength, he's also able to pull some Kevin Flynn shit and basically be God in there, creating whatever he needs. He can also manipulate matter and energy in kind of whatever way he wishes. He can overpower Molecule Man, and I would imagine if an enemy like Sark or Clue 2 or whatever the fuck showed up, he'd just go blip, gone.
So with Sentry and Neo, is there any concern of them being kind of corrupted and kind of trying to take over it all, like Clue 2? Is there any issue of that? If they have powers that the users have, right? If they have that power to create and control like that, is there sort of an issue of being corrupted by power, I guess?
I don't think Neo ever wanted power to begin with, so I think he's good.
Yeah, I don't think anybody on this row would do it would lose control like that. Sentry has a shadow personality called the Void, but if he was stuck in the grid, I don't imagine the Void would make it there.
He has a shadow personality, and you wanna have him protect people?
Man, everybody does. Anyway, I feel like Jack is probably better suited for question
we're just gonna glance right over that.
I feel like he'd be better, and not to spoil the next question, but I feel like he would be better for question 2.
Yeah, he's a game fighter.
Yarr.
Yeah, I think technology would scare Steve because of him being frozen in ice.
He doesn't get scared. He doesn't get scared of him. He just doesn't understand it. Also, all you have to do is understand. So all you have to do is give him the parameters, which he does really well, right? You just give him the parameters. He doesn't understand references, but he doesn't need to protect the grid. You give him the parameters of what to do to protect, and he will do that. All he needs are the parameters.
Sentry can't die.
What?
He can't die. Like, if you destroy his body, his molecules just, like, come back at a later time. So, like, unlike...
Like T-1000 style?
When Tron, you know, disappeared for X amount of whatever because he was mind... Like, even if you fucking killed him, he'd just come right back and be like, no.
Like, bloop. Like, I'm back.
No,
I'm back.
Huh.
It's beneficial.
Yeah, he's got... Okay, his list is, like... His list of powers is almost as long as his entire entry. The dude is ridiculous. That's why he doesn't show up very often.
He's too OP. Someone needs to nerf
So is
him.
it? So yeah, he's too OP.
No, I want him to protect
No.
the grid, and he will do it. He was designed as a character, you know, to keep watch over things, literally with a watchtower. That was like the inspiration. Like we want like this godlike being
Sentry.
to watch over everybody. The Sentry, literally, this is his job.
The
So if
Sentry.
you want a security system, you found it. If you want bing bang pow pows, you got these guys over here.
Oh, Reed apparently says that Sentry's completely dead now.
I mean, so's everybody here at some point or another.
I mean, at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's comics. Everybody's died. Everybody comes back.
Yep.
Everybody, give it a month.
Give it a month.
Everybody's got Winchester syndrome. Give it a minute. They'll be back.
All right, the first question
The
is in
revolving
the
doors
chat.
of hell.
Just wait till it rotates back around. They'll pop out.
As soon as I see the first vote pop in there, I will start the timer.
All right.
We just have to wait. Nobody vote, just so that like we don't,
no.
so we don't start the timer. Just as like a cruel joke.
Oh,
I would love
There
to.
it is.
Someone tell me a comic book character who's never died. Oh, wait.
So isn't the joke that the only person who's stayed dead is Uncle Ben?
Depends on the universe, too. No, it really does. It depends on the universe. Because in another universe where, say, you know, it's like Spider-Gwen, for instance, he probably didn't die.
that is true.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So
But,
far,
I mean, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
We got a vote for Captain America, and we got 2 votes for Neo. Oh,
Yeah,
And
Sentry
a
vote.
vote for Sentry.
I vote for Sentry.
Dead Boy wants to know what Winchester syndrome is.
Oh.
See? Supernatural reference, because those boys die a lot. They like
Yeah,
take turns.
and then they come back, and then it's like, all right, tag out. You're up. Your turn to sacrifice yourself for the world or universe or whatever. And then 3 months later, all right, who's digging out of a grave now?
Dang.
Yeah, they always come out.
All right, looks like Neo is the winner.
Yeah,
Them hacker skills.
that was a good choice.
That was a good choice.
Although
Yeah.
I would watch the fights for any of these people.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yup, yup,
Yeah.
yup, yup. Okay, moving on to our next question. We have, who would best survive the games of the grid?
Ooh.
So, if anyone in the chat is not completely familiar with Tron, there's like the, I guess, I don't even know what they called it in the game, but like the lacrosse game where they tossed it to each other and tried to hit their discs on the ground.
It was just the
It's
game.
based on, isn't it just like racquetball? Is it just
Kinda.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
racquetball. I
it's
was
like
like, it was
racquetball.
like
And then there's disc wars, there's light cycles,
Yeah,
tons
I'm
of
sure it has
different-
a name though. I'm sure it has a dumb cybery name.
True.
probably.
Hey,
It's got to
full
be one of the
disclosure, I love
programs
Tron
Flynn created.
A lot, but yeah, I mean it's cheesy as fuck. We went over this earlier.
It is so cheesy. The pacing of both movies are very, very weird. Like watching them back to back, the pacing of them is very odd.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's
Distinct.
what happens when you go from the 70s to the 2000s? 2010?
2010,
but,
yeah.
but even
2010.
Legacy is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just
Yeah,
pretty,
I
but
mean-
it's weird.
Yeah.
It is. The pacing is very weird because
have so much
I think
story we don't
because
put in here.
Tron is the pacing is weird.
I like that Terrence just called Bolin Cora guy.
Oh,
Spider-Gwen and
Oh.
Cora guy.
Poor guy.
Oh, no. Poor Bolin.
Well, fair enough.
Oh, that's one of his best moments too. That's a good episode. Good.
Good, 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 good.
Good, 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 good. It's good, good, good.
For this.
Just slurp. I don't think you need more of that bang, sir.
Oh, I humbly disagree.
We can always use more bang.
Well.
Heyo.
Dead Boy says, is there a book I can read instead of watching some movies on Tron? I don't know, but if you like cartoons, Tron Uprising was really fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's all Robert Valley animation, and I'm obsessed with that guy's design. If you saw the Zima Blue short in the
Oh.
robots and was it Love and
Love,
Robots?
Death, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots. So Zima Blue was a short that he did. Same animator, same designer as
Oh.
Tron Uprising.
Yeah. And
I love him.
there isn't like a ton of stuff that comes up in Tron Uprising that you're like, do I need to know the movies for
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's
No.
a good standalone.
Yeah, it's standalone, but I mean, I highly recommend watching the movies. They're both really fun.
Yeah.
Get some popcorn.
Yeah, they're fun.
Like the Animatrix, where it's like a good standalone, but it has extra just stuff to include in the world.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so let's see. We went around and got to Connie last. So Connie, you want to start it off for us?
Sweet. All right, let's do it.
All right, and go.
All right, I picked Miles Morales, Spider-Man, who would be best to survive in the games grid because Miles would have a strong background in video games as well as more modern technology. In addition to his spider sense, so he would know if he was being attacked from behind, as well as he has the ability to camouflage himself so he can blend in with the background. And he has the extra ability where he can kind of like direct energy, the Venom Strike, his new Venom Strike, because he can just kind of deploy energy through his gloves to the other person, which is how he took out Doc Ock's arms, and then also he was able to fight off Venom for a short time. And just, I think Miles would have a strong grasp of what he needs to do and how he can survive the best without honestly hurting the other person, because he knows the other person is probably there not by their own will.
Nice,
Oh.
nice. Hunk.
All right, let's pop over to the other spider, Corey.
Spider Gwen.
And you
Spider sandwich.
Yeah.
Go.
Yum, yum. I'm the meat.
So Spider Gwen.
I'll reset.
Sorry, reset the
You're
timer. I
good, you're
broke
good.
Corey. My bad.
Oh.
I'm the meat. Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And
Sweet.
go.
So, Spider-Gwen, I think, would be the best to survive the games of the grid, both in, I think that it's that dexterity, that agility, that being able to dance all around, get where they're not expecting, these are just lowly programs trying to fight in the games, as well as she definitely would take that user approach of getting out of the games, subverting the games to get out. She also does have spider sense in the Into the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry, not the whole in the comics, I guess you guys are saying that she does not have spider sense. Sorry, guys. What?
20 seconds.
But she is so agile. She's also, again, it's that outside thinker, right? She doesn't take the straight path to anything, and so she would definitely be able to get out and subvert the actual purpose of the games and be able to not necessarily play by the rules, but kind of bend them. She would be able to do that.
Also, one of just the coolest designed newer comic book costumes in existence.
True. That is
She's
true.
dope.
She's dope.
All right, cucumber.
Okay. I give you Kurt Wagner, but in the Munich circus, he was known as the Amazing Nightcrawler. So here's the deal. This dude was, again, trained in a circus. He's acrobatic and athletic as fuck. He can bamf in and out. He can teleport. He can slip through dimensions to get somewhere else. That's his whole thing. So he doesn't actually disappear and pop somewhere else. He has to, basically cuts a hole in the fabric of reality, goes through a sort of, minor hell dimension and comes back out on the other side. He is so fucking cool. And, okay, so the thing is, you gotta think about all the games, right? So he could easily take care of this Disc Wars. He could easily do the lacrosse thing. And I also feel like he's the only one old enough and experienced enough to drive a fucking car. So I think he's the only one who would survive the light cycles because these two are kids Bolin cars were just invented, and I'm pretty sure he sucked at it. So I figured the winner for all 3 games has got to be Kurt Wagner. I got 5 more seconds. Bamf. Bamf, 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 bamf.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Good job. Good job.
All right,
Strong argument.
I'll start with my Bolin argument. So I chose Bolin because he is already an arena fighter. He is a skilled combatant. He is trained for very quick reflexes. He already has a very strong like maneuverability style and avoidance and dexterity. He comes from like a very fluid and like in the same sense of like how when he's training for his earthbending for the arena, he's using discs to throw at the other side. So disc wars is almost second nature to him. As far as all the other things, he is also can play well on teams because he was with the Fire Ferrets for a very long time, and he knows how to at least compete together. All right. Here we go.
So someone had a question for Miles in the chat. Would Miles short circuit the entire grid and just like hard reset? Boom.
No, because
he's
it's
like
not
short
like
bursts. He would like
Yeah.
clock it out a little bit maybe, but I don't think he'd break anything.
Okay.
The only
no,
the
and
other
it's
thing
very directed with his like hands and gloves. So I mean, it's not like an EMP where it just kind of like radiate out like a Black Panther kind of like shockwave type thing. It'd literally be like a directed burst that he can control with his hand, or fingers.
I would also, so my argument for the video games that you brought up, Connie, is that video games do not equal actual physical skill.
Yeah, that's why Flynn kind of sucked at him when he got stuck in the games. Oh, thank you for the sub. Oh, look at that. That's all spacey.
But I think that
Real
Miles
sweet.
has like the awareness, like the street awareness, to where he can kind of take that quick thinking and like that adaptability that he needs and apply that to being in the games. And it's like, oh, this is what I have to do. So it's that kind of like quick adaptability where he can take that knowledge and then use it to his advantage.
So I'm gonna just punt little Bolin out of this race, by the way, because even though he may have trained with discs, he rarely used his own hands to throw them. And guess what's not in the grid? Earth. He can't bend shit in there.
Oh,
He can lava bend. He can bend
What
lava
about-
though.
I mean, so technically, like, so I've not watched Korra. So Earthbenders learned metal bending from Toph, right? Can he metal bend?
He does not metal bend. No, he does not.
He
Actually,
does not
that's
metal
part of
bend.
his journey. He really, really wants to, but he can't ever do it.
And he
See,
can't
like-
do it.
Oh,
But then he
oops.
learns how to lava
Lava
bend
bend.
instead. And then
Yeah,
he becomes the
so he's
first
still a
lava
bad
Right,
bender.
but there's not lava in the computer. There's
I mean,
metal.
you could
I
argue,
mean, like,
argue that like there's silicon,
Argo.
silicon in like the chips, maybe, but that's not like how that's not how the world functions. They're like in the digital realm.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
There's no elements
Whoa.
whatsoever, really.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hard light is all you get.
That's
Huh.
oh.
Huh.
Yeah, Miles can't drive.
hmm.
Gwen might be able to drive.
I think Gwen can drive.
I feel like Gwen probably
She's
has
older.
joyrided a few cars a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm gonna say yes, Jesse, because magic is different than physical stuff.
Wait, what?
And also because
What'd he
I'm
say?
arguing for him. I was asking, could Kurt even travel through limbo in the grid? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. If we're allowing people to keep their powers, then I would say yes.
Yeah. I would say that he could probably jump. The issue is that I feel like Kurt. So I don't know Kurt. I don't know Kurt and Nightcrawler very well from the comics. So I mean, there's definitely. I'm sorry. So like, would he have an issue of like potentially like popping in? Does he have the control of accidentally popping in when a disc is being thrown at that space? I feel like, is he clumsy like that, or does he have more finesse?
No, he's
way more
pretty
finesse.
efficient. Like maybe
Okay.
X-Men
Okay.
Evolution when he was like a kid, he would kind of fuck
Okay.
up a little bit more, but he knows his powers by this
Okay,
age,
okay,
like Excalibur status,
Cool. Okay.
which
Yeah,
no one
maybe
likes that were in the
teen
comics,
Kurt, but
yeah.
not
Teen
adult
Kurt.
Kurt.
And I just read in the chat that at some point, in some version, Kurt is married to Mystique, and that makes me viciously uncomfortable.
Because in some versions, he's Mystique's son.
Yeah,
right?
in most versions,
Yep.
he's her kid. But hey, man,
shit.
you write what you write. It's all
You
great.
do you?
Would we have an issue of Miles being so much younger, and so we're like that being overwhelmed? Like by the end of like Into the Spider-Verse, he definitely like comes into his own, but he's still a kid, and being able to be like overwhelmed by the situation, the gravity of the situation, would he get overwhelmed? Would that, and then you know, that fight or flight, the freeze, if he froze during the games, that would be an issue.
Well, I
lethal.
don't think so, because this is like Miles after he's already experienced everything, and he is owned the identity of, I am like now Spider-Man, and this is like what my kind of place is, and he's already learned that at the end of Into the Spider-Verse. So I feel like that he would take that knowledge into it. So whatever sort of like insecurities he had, which would, you know, hold him back from like, oh, am I able to do this? I think that would just, you know, be put to the side, because he's already kind of proven to himself that he can do it. So he would take that confidence with him. So
I still like Bolin in my corner, because he's so far in this group the only one who is a arena fighter to begin with.
yeah.
Danger Room, maybe?
Oh, that's right.
Clincher?
That's basically the same thing.
Strapple.
Straw pole.
Alright.
Straw pole.
Those votes in.
We've got one for Nightcrawler.
Miles might have a driver's permit, and we know that I don't trust people with driver's permits. This is scary.
Nightcrawler is so far only one getting votes.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
I mean, OP pick.
I was initially gonna say Forge, but I thought that would have been a little weird, because like digitally isn't the same as mechanically, so I don't think he could do as well.
No, Kurt's
But
a
he
good
would be
pick
really good
because
at,
he
like,
can trans.
But he would be a good user. Like he would be able to do like schematics in his head and just like create the device and on the grid.
Yeah. If he had Flynn powers, that'd be cool. But like as a just surviving the games, I think he'd be done.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got one vote for Corey. Oh, and 6 votes for Cucumber now.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
They were very in agreement tonight. Oh, and then
Whoa,
one for
we
me.
got one for
And
Bolin.
one for Bolin.
No
I
love
like
for
Bolin.
Miles.
I mean,
Everybody,
here's the
I'll
deal.
give him
Miles
a
is
hug.
like awesome. He's one of my absolute favorites, but can't.
I think
He's
his
the new
age.
favorite.
I think his age.
Alrighty. Now we've got, so me and Cucumber currently are in a tie. We got
Kurt's a pilot, which you also did not mention, Cucumber, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah. He flies the X, whatever the fuck the X ship is called.
The X-Jet.
The
Thank
X-Jet.
you. Yeah. He does a lot of things. He's a fancy boy.
So he could even fly a light jet if he needed to.
Yeah.
He's got all the things.
Yeah.
Alright, good choice.
Yeah.
Alright.
Hence
So,
OP.
Whoa.
we've got, this is our random question that none of us are prepared for. Who would be best? Who would best create the perfect system?
Whoa.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Die.
Die.
Die. Die. Die.
Yum, yum.
Die.
So the question is essentially, who would be the best god? Like,
Aang. Avatar Aang.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
that's a good one.
Okay. Who's
But not necessarily the best god, because Flynn was the creator. He created Clue to help him make the perfect system. But Flynn, or Clue's downfall was Flynn only saw the perfection when he created him, or like his ideal of perfection, and then his perfection evolves over time.
who can?
Ogden Morrow.
Who?
the great and powerful Og from Ready Player One.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Very nice.
So the walking Steve Wozniak allegory, wasn't he? Or no, was he the Steve Jobs? No, Og
He
was the
was
one who
not
was
the
alive,
Steve
right?
Jobs.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he was the
Og
Woz.
is
He was the
Woz.
Woz.
Was, yeah. Connie!
I have an aneurysm over here. I'm gonna go with Hank Pym.
I'm so glad you didn't say Hill.
Because I'm trying to think, I'm like, who would be smart enough that would be able to create something like that? And I was like, okay, Hank Pym, because he's got the particle technology and he's got all that. Okay, yeah.
Okay. I would say I'm gonna go with Mr. Spock.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. We went with Connie. I started. Corey, you want to start us off this time?
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Go.
All right, so Ogdemoro, for guys that haven't done, so Ready Player One is about a guy that creates a virtual reality that people live like every day in, and Ogdemoro was his best friend. Like it's the Steve Wozniak like allegory to it, right? So Ogdemoro is absolutely amazing. He did kind of what like the Gates Foundation did. Him and his wife created this part of the Oasis, which is the digital reality that helped kids learn and became a safe space for them. He really understood that if it's going to be a digital world, we need to have places that are safe. We need to let people learn. It helped foster this great connection with the digital world that was healthy. And I think that he really also had a connection with the real world and able to understand that perfection is an ever evolving thing, something that we need to be focusing on the good of all and for all, while also still having that sense of identity and self. Just bringing those together, I think you'd be able to create the perfect system.
Nice. You got it all in there. You good?
Like, okay, I need to explain Ready Player One real quick.
Very nice. All right. And resetting clock. All right, cucumber.
Oh shit. Okay.
And go.
Alright, I'm gonna go with Avatar Aang, because if you want to create the perfect system, you need somebody who's going to be neutral, who's going to help and sort of pacify between different ideals and thought processes. Like, a utopia doesn't exist, however, diplomacy can bring us very, very far, and I think that the Avatar's job is to keep the peace, and he does a pretty damn good job at it. And I think that he would do a really good job. Fuck, I'm running out of steam already. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. You need an idealist. You need somebody who like isn't going to be focused on the math and the specs, because that's what happened to Flynn. He was all focused on the math and the specs and trying to make a perfect thing, not realizing that generally the simplest ideas are often the best. And I think that that Aang's optimism and his ability to follow that through with advice and knowledge and all that stuff would help create the perfect system.
Nice. All right.
Like, I'm gonna honk myself.
Hey.
All right. So I will go with Mr. Spock because.
Sorry, go on.
Okay. For me, it is the fact that like Flynn had a lot of passion when he started creating the grid, and so he wasn't really thinking logically about what perfection is or anything like that. So if Mr. Spock was there to help him create this, he would at least be able to show him the fallacies of trying to seek perfection, and that the problems that he ran into down the line would probably be solved much sooner, or even not even had to happen at all, if Spock was able to just be like, hey, there is nothing such as perfection. You will not be able to achieve this logically. You just need to make something that you enjoy and do whatever you want to do. And honk.
Okay. Huh.
All right. And Connie.
All right,
Go.
let's go, Hank Pym.
Yeah.
All right. He is a scientific genius. He has PhDs in biochemistry as well as nanotechnology, and he has an expertise in artificial intelligence as well as quantum physics. So I think that Hank is the best equipped to kind of strike that balance between what needs to be created in the system, but also understanding the biochemistry of what the body has to do inside that system and how to translate it, because he's able to, create Giant Man and Ant-Man so he can, change his atoms at will, or and manipulate his molecules, so that I think he can figure out a way of how to create that within the system, which would help create a perfect system from understanding that the molecules are unstable, and that being a biochemist, that everything changes and everything is in fluctuation. So you would have to be able to find a balance between the artificial intelligence as well as the human side.
Okay. 5 minutes on the clock.
So Fogg's so great. Why did he have to wait for a couple of fucking kids to save the world? So many people died because he was just sitting on his butt.
So he wasn't allowed to. Halliday wrote in his will that anybody who's worked for GSS, or people that knew him, could not win the contest. He wasn't able to. There was a lot of issues also when his wife died. He really went into a really big depression. He still was around trying to help and keep tabs with what he could, right? He wasn't able to. It was written in that he wasn't able to win that pot and take control. He wasn't able to.
I didn't say win the pot. I'm saying use his knowledge and ability to do something else.
Well, Og did.
People got blown up because he's just like, somebody will get it. Somebody will find that fucking egg.
He wasn't even blown up because he wasn't sitting. No, he was doing what he could. Especially so in the movie, he was watching over the Holiday Museum, and then in the book, he was constantly checking up when they were. He's in the book. He's constantly watching over and trying to help out the High Five as they're doing stuff.
From on high, like a la Dumbledore douche moves. I know.
Oh no!
Let's see. Who we got? Ryan, who'd you have?
Spock.
Spock. Okay. The problem
also,
with
the
Spock
logic was flawed because you said your logic was that Spock would realize that a perfect system. So your logic for who would create the best perfect system is to say he would realize that you couldn't and just create something that makes you happy. So that logic is flawed.
Yeah, and something to make him happy would make not everybody happy.
Right,
and
but
he's
there's
also
no sense in
like
making a perfect system.
unsavory for most people, so I wouldn't want him in charge of my world at all. It'd be boring as fuck. Like, here, kids, this is Trigonometry Palace. Well, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and I think it'd be a little too rigid. Yeah.
Connie,
What?
what'd you have?
Who was
Hank
yours?
Pym.
Hank Pym.
Hank Pym. I mean,
Ant-Man.
he's a smart dude, but he's not necessarily like the nicest dude. I wouldn't want him in charge of my world either. There'd be lots of laboratories and a lot of like fuck yous. There'd be a lot of locked doors, I think, in his perfect system.
I mean, so there would also be issues if Aang created a perfect system, right? Because Aang has a lot of fallacies in that he runs through. He doesn't always think through the final step of things, right? Or
True,
or he thinks for too much and then gets stalled, right? He stalls up.
Yes, but he learns his lessons and then applies them.
Yeah. I mean, especially if we're going after Aang when he became the Avatar, after the series, the way he was able to unify the cities and everything afterwards. He definitely was a unifier. He was a
and in the good way.
Yeah.
Where it's I respect you all, we all respect each other, we get along. Not the Kuvira status of unification.
Yeah.
Actually,
I would probably go with Aang too.
Well, okay, my only issue with Aang is that he needs Sokka and Katara and everybody else to kind of input their own perspectives in order for him to kind of find that balance. I think for him being an airbender and being a monk, he's naturally just detached from everything. So he needs that more humanistic pull from his friends. So without them, it's still might be a little wibbly wobbly.
Well, no, I definitely get he's a good leader, much like Picard and Hank. Where they need the input from taking input from multiple different people, multiple different perspectives, and then applying their best judgment to that. No, I'm just saying it's a similar thing, right?
Oh, okay.
It's just another analogy of like a leader who may be detached or understands that there are smart people in the room with them and taking those perspectives and those advices to make something better. So that's good. Yeah, that's good. I still think that Og would make a good system.
You'd be like, oh, look, all those people dying in the games. Maybe somebody will find something lucky down there. Oh, shame.
They all drop common loot.
Oh, terrible.
So he wouldn't create the games. Like, why is there this like system of this weird gladiatorial punishment that exists?
That was Clue making that. So it wasn't
Right.
there
So
in the
like
games.
there wouldn't be a thing, and it wasn't just
first.
Clue because it was Sark. And why did that continue? Why did they think, oh yeah, no, we'll still have the games, this weird gladiatorial punishment system? Like, why does that still exist?
Because
In the
Clue
perfect
was
system.
crazy and evil. But
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
he's like, that worked before.
Yeah.
It worked well before. Didn't get anybody in trouble at all. Tyron is very like says Data. Data would make the best systems. Like
Data's
still
not
say
in
Data.
the running. I wouldn't say
I know.
Data. I love Data, but he doesn't
wouldn't say
understand people well enough to run a place that would be populated by sentient
He
beings.
he would be able to run programs fairly well though.
Yeah, but with all the bullshittery that happens with him in the holodeck, I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah, wouldn't necessarily get it. Yeah.
Like, I love Data. I would hang out with him as the day is long. I would pet his cat.
So like if you had a closed system where users weren't ever in the grid at all, ever, they
Flynn.
didn't have to communicate. If it was just like not even just Flynn, of like
Then your
if you just,
computer would
like,
never be
closed
on.
off- I know, that's what I'm saying. Like if then it's a perfect system for programs, then sure, I think the Data could create the perfect system
Nice.
for programs and run it for systems. So
Yeah.
yes,
I mean,
no,
I
your
don't
computer
know-
would never be on, but it would exist as a perfect system. Maybe that's the fallacy, is that anytime you enter in a human element, it's going to be imperfect. So the perfect system
Yeah.
is a system without human users.
Right.
It's just for the
Clue sought
programs.
to, like the tyranny of
I
the
mean,
users is
sort
what-
of. I mean,
Yeah.
he definitely was like, I'm going to make the whole world of the perfect system.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Worst plot ever. I hated this so much.
there was so much more, like, I really wanted to see what they were gonna do with number 3 because like then we would have
What was
gotten
gonna
more
be
Dillinger
3?
stuff. We would have gotten like NCOM like things.
Killian Murphy
happening.
would have had lines.
Yeah.
So, like, the son of Dillinger?
The son of Dillinger.
like, nothing? Like, it
was a
was like a
whole-
throwaway. It was
No,
a
it
throwaway in the
because
second
it
one.
was a setup
yeah.
to third movie. That's the entire point. So and the reason like so they were gonna have this whole thing where like Dillinger was gonna come back and like there's a deleted scene where there's a deleted scene where the son of Dillinger is talking to the computer and it's the MCP's voice, but he's talking to his dad.
Wait, so Dillinger becomes the MCP?
And Dillinger becomes the MCP.
For
And I wanted to see that movie, but it never happened.
Maybe with Disney Plus. I think now's the time for them to just make whatever the fuck they want for funsies.
Yes,
That would be
true.
I
nice.
mean, yes.
I would take a Disney Plus Tron movie.
Yeah.
else?
So, Ryan, you won. Good
I
job.
did win. Thank you very, very
Which
much.
means you get to pick another topic for us. Good job.
and pick your trophy that you're not
I
gonna
will-
show.
A trophy!
I will pick a light cycle as my trophy, so I can pick
There you
that
go.
right now. And for topic, I'm gonna go with Hook.
Okay.
Hook. Okay.
Like
Where's
Bangarang
the
hook?
hook?
Like Bang
Yeah.
Bang Hook.
Where's the hook?
Okay.
Hook.
Okay, we're going from Dante Bosco to Dante Bosco. Okay.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Good form.
Good form.
Go for
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to think off the top of my head, so if that's a bad one, I might change it. But for now, Hook.
Nope, it's hooked in.
Ah.
Ah.
Well, all right, we did it. Thank you all very, very much. You made me the master debater again for the second week in a row.
Ba-da-ba-now,
One more time, it's gonna
ba-da-ba-now.
go to his head. Don't let it happen.
Don't let it happen. You don't want that to happen. Anyway,
Bye-bye.
tune in.
Oh yeah, that.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not yet, cucumber.
7:30 tonight over on Twitch. You'll be able to catch us doing Trash to Piece Theater. I believe the title of the play is called You Can't Take It With You. Yeah. Something like that. I think. Anyway, we have a full cast of 9 people. It's gonna be crazy.
Wow!
So come
So
over
many
there,
people.
butts in seats, and tell us to do funny voices and make us sing our lines.
It's creepy because none of us are lining up, so we just sound like cultists.
They're great.
It's like a weird cult, just like.
Butts in seats.
Either way, we'll love to see you there. So pop over there in about an hour and a half and have some fun with us. Enjoy an evening of theater.
Pop over here is
Theater!
like a little apple pie. Alright, bye!
Okay, bye!
Bye! Bye!